So you get us hired for the case, child custody or divorce, either way. One of the first things that has to happen is we generally call it temporary orders. And when someone files a divorce, let's say I file a divorce for you, and we have your spouse served. That spouse is served generally by someone who's licensed by the state of Texas, the Supreme Court of Texas, and says, okay, you're licensed to serve these papers. They serve the papers. You've hired me already. We filed for a divorce. We know that there's property, your home. We know there's kids we have to get split and where they live. So we ask for what's called a temporary orders hearing, and that temporary orders hearing will be held within 14 days of the date of the filing of the divorce or child custody case. And at that temporary orders hearing, the judge will decide who gets to live in the house with the kids, what kind of visitation the other spouse gets, how often they get that visitation, how much is child support going to be paid a month, who covers the health insurance, and status quo for other things similar to that. Temporary orders are very important, and that kind of sets the tone for the case. Eventually down the road, in order to get a final court date with the court to finalize the divorce or child custody, they generally require mediation. Mediation is a process where we either meet and we go online, and there's a mediator who's an attorney who's real familiar with family law that will go between our office and opposing parties' office if it's on website like Zoom or WebEx or something like that. Most of the time now, since COVID has passed, we do these mediations in one office together. And basically, for instance, let's say we use my office here. We have 2 conference rooms. We'll set up, you and I, in one conference room. The opposing party will set up with their lawyer in another conference room within the same building. And the attorney, who is the mediator, will go back and forth between the parties. We like to call it carrying the water. Basically, they're carrying messages back and forth between the parties, trying to negotiate a settlement that both parties can live with in the best interest, be it for the divorce or the child custody case. We handle it the same way for property, for millions of dollars worth of cases down to hundreds of dollars worth of cases. And that, when I'm talking about dollar amount, I'm talking about your state. And the general rule is, in my opinion, and kind of a proven statistic, is about 90% of cases settled in mediation. And that's a great way to settle your case where you still have some control over it. You get to control your outcome. If you don't agree to a mediation settlement, then you go to your final hearing, and you have a hearing in front of the judge with all the evidence that's taken place and all the evidence you want to provide in court, and the judge makes the final decision. And when it's all said and done, there's your final response and final answer from the court. It's a process. You need an experienced attorney like the law office of Michael J. Crawford can provide. Myself and Cedric Johnson, who's an associate attorney here in the office, are very experienced lawyers when it comes to family law, and we get great results for you.